Alright, welcome back to DEATHBATTLE! Yeah, I didn't know we were really released. I think it released an hour earlier than usual, as I was like totally busy with something else. So if this one reaction is a little late, you know why. I was busy with Pokemon Pokopia. So that's probably why I didn't notice it was out. But right now it's out and it's Cell versus Sonic. I don't know Cell. I have no idea who this guy is. All I know is he's from Dragon Ball. So it's Sonic versus Dragon Ball. I don't think we had one of those before. Or if we have, it's been a while ago. But it's way overdue though, because Mario and Sonic and Dragon Ball, I mean, they kind of compare a lot, aren't they? I mean, in some cases, at least. They've definitely been matched up quite a lot. I've seen Sonic versus Goku go around for a while, so I assume they mean Archie Sonic in that case, maybe? But then again, I don't know. Alright, I do know Sonic though. He's done a lot of stuff over years. Sonic Heroes, he had the whole Metal Overlord Madness thing, which actually returned in another game. I'm not gonna say which one. It gives you inputs. Nothing again. Let's see. Metal Sonic, yeah, is made to match Sonic in every way possible, and it's basically a complete success. Of course, there's a few exceptions. You know, Metal Sonic don't actually tend to win, even if it is against Sonic, and it is, well, basically is a success. But yeah, it's not the only success though. We have Sage as well, of course, but this is all about Metal Sonic. So Metal Overlord is definitely gonna become play some form be important in this episode, I'm pretty sure. And now we have Neo, Metal Sonic, and all that sort of thing. I assume the whole the meta virus stuff from the IDW comics is also going to be counted towards this. I assume it's just game Metal Sonic and not Archie Metal Sonic, because it doesn't say Archie. So yeah, now that can probably be interesting. Use Metal Sonic from the Archie comics. I don't know how much powerful that version of Metal Sonic is, but if there is a matchup for that version of Metal Sonic out there, it needs to happen. So yeah, I don't know anything about Cell, so let's go into the analysis. Alright, let's get this over with. I hope the sound balancing is alright, because I had to change a few things from the previous stream. I probably should have checked it before now, but anyway, let's go.
Cell versus Metal Sonic.
Yes, there's Eggman in the background there.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Alright, let's find out who will win this death battle. And there's a 3D one too, so that's gonna be cool.
Monsters stalking Ginger Town. No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale.
Metal Sonic has Metal Sonic returned more often than Batman in this show now? And Batman is 4 times, I think. 5, I guess, if you got Batman Beyond. So I think Metal Sonic is close to the same, if not even surpassed him soon. Excuse me.
And discovered that it was intelligent. Its tail could unravel to absorb its hapless victims and add their energy to its wretched.
All right.
The nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this freak of nature knew the Kamehameha.
Yeah.
The history of this creature's origin was decades in the making. Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced paramilitary organization in history, the Red Ribbon Army.
Until
Red Ribbon?
by this little kung fu gremlin.
Okay.
But Red Ribbon's dream of revenge lived on within their
Hope they wear red ribbons.
Dr. Giro.
Hiding away in his spooky cave laboratory, Giro would go to work studying the Z fighters from afar, learning everything there was to know about them.
And building a series of androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once and for all.
He made a ton
Yeah, so he's like the Eggman of the Dragon Ball universe.
Trucker had androids.
Maybe she'll fight Eggman.
Yeah.
I was just saying. Maybe there is a matchup idea out there. Someone must have done that. Whatever the guy's name was versus Eggman. I mean, those two has to be in. It has to be in a matchup people want.
Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell, get it? This android possessed the genetic information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and, when fully evolved, would become unstoppable.
And with their DNA, Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common among all of them.
Okay, so like Sonic, he can copy the enemy's data and basically use it as his own. Cool. I guess I see why it's matched up in Sonic now. It must have a lot of similarities to Sonic.
Special favorite. Oh, weird. I'm not seeing Chaozu on this list. Sorry, bud.
Is Chaozu human?
Oh.
Okay. Cell can fire the Death Beam, as well as breathe in and travel through the vacuum of space with the alien genes of Frieza and his father.
And because he's got Piccolo's DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body at the
This guy had a scorpion tail.
Has survived having half his body vaporized multiple
I guess I heard this guy has a very lot of matchups, actually. Sonic is apparently one of them. I wouldn't be surprised if Scorpion is another one, you know, from the Spider-Man series. I don't know, because of his tail alone. Maybe not because of that alone, but, you know.
Sure, he can perfectly replicate attacks like the Gallic Gun, Spirit Bomb, and of course Kamehameha, as well as teleport by locking onto a living being's key signature.
But the best part of being a Saiyan is how much crazy stronger they get every time they almost die.
They can even evolve to become
it's one of those,
combine that with Cell's healing
those type of
he's effectively the
powers.
ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Kill him in one way and it's... Well, it's not unkillable, maybe. Maybe not dark side unkillable. The dark side, right?
Believing it would make him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time. Not our Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. It's very complicated. There's like 5 timelines.
As Cell defeated and absorbed the androids,
So he has to take that from Silver.
Stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust
Or something like that.
Less bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks and Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our
entire solar system.
This still means
Okay.
that Cell's key wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks and even demonstrated outright in the video games.
Cell's even stronger in the anime adaptation, considering the time Frieza blew up Namek. In the anime, the explosion was literally hundreds of light years wide and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also incredibly fast, capable of blitzing even the strongest Z fighters at the time. Goku flew from Grand Kai's planet of heaven all the way to hell, hundreds of billions of light years in half a minute. And that was in his
Okay, so this guy is false then.
Cool, but how about the power to squeeze mini Cell Juniors out of your butt? What? Never heard of that key technique? Call it the Kegel.
Perfect Cell was entirely without peer and, no longer wedded to Giro's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The Cell Games!
Of course they call it that.
Beat him. What hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't
It's one letter away. No, it's one word away from Hunger Games.
Son, Gohan.
After Cell arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him. Wow, Cell, you really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell was a victim of his own success. The same Saiyan genes that made him all-powerful also sowed the seeds of his defeat.
He got so mad, he even blew himself up. Maybe he does have some Chaozu.
I guess he learned that from Pokemon, from all the Pokemon that can learn self-destruct.
Power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
Super perfect Cell. Now with more like
Super perfect Cell? Okay, this guy is not slowing down.
biological programming against one lone Saiyan and went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite figure out their knack for going beyond.
Of course, the copies never defeat the original. I mean, the original is always better than the copy anyway.
Is one single cell.
You might be able to copy people's abilities, but the OGs are better.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly
Alright, Mel, let's go.
And oval, Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
And time and again, that same world and those same critters were saved by Sonic the Hedgehog. No matter how many robotic badniks the good doctor threw at his blue spiky nemesis, his schemes were always 6 spin jumps to the glowing weak spot away.
Video games and IDW comics. Okay, thank you.
It wouldn't be over easy for Eggman if he couldn't defeat the blue.
I actually took time reading the upper corner there now. That turned out to be important. The games and IDW comics.
But goddamn, he does look metal as hell.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can zoom around at massively hypersonic
I guess media closely tied to Ken. I guess that's what he said, so.
He's tougher than Eggman's
Alright.
some of which can survive black holes.
Metal can use all of Sonic's power-ups and even replicate his classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's got moves of his own.
He can attack with
Of course.
energy blast, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V Maximum Overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path, at the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn
Course.
rodents into
Course.
roadkill, but it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah,
Of course,
when you're
he's the
getting
real
your
Sonic.
supersized red ass handed to you by Charmy B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Never one to admit defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew. You,
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire. And we mean
Yeah.
literally copied. If
It's not the first time something like that happened, Eggman. I mean, it happens a lot.
down and copy them
Both
too.
in games and in the comics, apparently.
Scanners in his optic receptors that can copy a person's biodata, giving him the ability to recreate all of their abilities in seconds.
Like the Sonic Boom, Knuckles' Hammer Punch, Tails' magical swiveling asshole, and Big's ability to suck it.
Yeah, and Shadow's chaos control.
Learning their moves, he can replicate
And Silver's
parts of
telekinesis
Terrapowers
thing that
like
makes you
Silver's
confused.
manufacture Rouge's mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that biological data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably
Of course.
He can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only chaos he's encountered.
By scanning the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes. The
Yes.
emeralds contain an infinite wellspring of mystical power and life energy. With them, Metal can perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport, warp,
Infinite
distort space,
data
boost his speed,
successfully
and stop
copied.
time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master
Or something like
he
that.
can transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Completely invulnerable and completely golden, Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds and has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are inconceivably powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate stars.
Yeah, they even been used in Sonic X. I've been used to power up the tornado or something during a fight in space or something.
At their peak, 3 super
It's been a while since I watched Sonic X, but I think that's what it was used for.
Entire multiverse.
So Super Neo Metal Sonic should be just as powerful as any of them, though he's gotta be quick because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road
Of
to
course.
total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty Egg Fleet and became Metal Overlord.
Metal Overlord, yes.
Projectiles and the strength to match 3 supersonic heroes all by himself. Overlord is
Well, supersonic,
material.
And he knew it.
not
His ego
technically
might as well
super Knuckles and Super Tails, I guess, because I didn't really
morphed into the
you know, more like
belief that he was the original.
cover them in the...
Copy.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. I mean, they can turn super, but
They may have stolen their abilities, but
so kind of they can kind of want to ignore it in some ways. So
friendship and teamwork.
Aw, how cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things. Ahem. After getting trashed again, Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from his code.
Metal returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer, always proving invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation, now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going on behind those glowing red eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
yeah,
Hey, I'm Chad, the voice of Boomstick. And if you don't believe me,
But what about now? That's what I thought.
look, the matchup is about to begin and we can't wait for you to see it. But first I want to tell you about a brand new thing coming to the Death Battle store, and it's something you guys have been asking for. Matchup pitches. It's a way to meet with me and Ben, the
okay. I think I might let this play even for you guys.
Any matchup, any way you
If I
like.
didn't, then you have no way of hearing what I just said. But
Due to popular demand, we wanted to keep it going. A lot of episodes of Death Battle that are currently being worked on are because of a pitch. So we want to give each pitch the time it needs, so quantity is limited, so you better act quick. Death Battle pitches are available right now on deathbattle.gg. That's our website that's like a Patreon mixed with some other stuff. And if you're a website member, you get discounts on all of our merch, including the pitch calls. While you're there, make sure you check out the Death Battle Retro Tee. It's a shirt we made like over a decade ago. The first Death Battle shirt, I found the file and recreated it, only on a much nicer shirt. So check that out while you're there. Anyway, let's get to the fight. I know you want to see it, and Boomstick wants to see one of these copycats get copy-capped. So here we go, and remember, deathbattle.gg. We want to hear your pitches. Thanks.
all right, let's go. I really hope Metal Sonic has this one. But then again, Cell had a whole. Oh, he had a whole galaxy destroying ability, which definitely comes in hand. You know, both of them technically is all over. But yeah, I really want Metal Sonic to win this one because, well, it's Metal Sonic. Oh, am I gonna let my bias get the better of me? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I think Metal Sonic is going to win. But I can totally see Cell winning because he has some really OP powers. So he has some speed. I don't think he can match Metal Sonic on speed. Or maybe he could actually. Because he had a whole thing about, I think it was about Goku or Gohan or something, which ran in a really incredible speed and he was able to keep up with them. So I guess there's that, but then Metal Sonic is able to keep up with someone like Shadow, Silver, Sonic. So there's that. Metal Sonic, of course, has copied a lot of abilities throughout the years, of course. I don't think we've seen the copy abilities from in the games in a while, but I guess they're still kind of used in the comics. Sometimes, at the very least. But yeah, being able to go, being able to use Shadow's Chaos Control, Silver's Technesis ability stuff, the one that confuses you in Sonic Rivals. If you ever played against Silver, you know what I mean. The one that messes with the controls, so when you try to go that way, you have to click on a different button in order to go that way. It's basically a way to confuse you. That's basically what Silver does. The speed of thing for Sonic, aim is hammer probably, Tails is flying, Rouge is bumping SPO's invincibility in some way. So yeah, he has a lot of abilities the Cell doesn't seem to have, but it's then again it still is. But then again, Perfect Cell, Super Perfect Cell seem like a perfectly powerful character being in itself too. But I want to say Metal Sonic is gonna win this one. I want Metal Sonic to win this one, so Metal Sonic is going to win. All right, Metal Sonic is going to win, and let's play.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Oh!
There, let's go. All right, Mel.
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes you. Bring me your strongest fighter, or face... Then prepare to kneel before your master.
Of course. Fight! Come on. Come on, Mel. Really nice animation, though.
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear?
I mean, you're technically a machine too, so... Already? Oh wow, that was fast. That's maybe a little too fast. Okay, you went back to normal.
Fool, you're dealing with the
Okay, your transformation came a little too fast there, Mal.
already possesses data. Observe chaos.
You can say the super stuff too, but... He has control.
Life form beta successfully copied. Scum. It'll take more than that to kill
Oh,
me.
did he copy the generation stuff? Is that what he did there, Mel?
I know. Now I know everything about you, insect.
Alright, Mel. Oh, wait, did he copy the comma? That could have been a thing he did. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was definitely what he's copied. He copied the comma, maha. We're still not done, are you?
I am not just the greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them.
Oh,
If you are all of them, then so am I.
of course, it's not over yet. It looked like that was a finishing blow, but that was not.
I'll crush you.
Way to go, Mel. Way to go.
So, now Metal's got all the powers of the Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters? Well, that world's fucked. Our bad.
Yeah,
Cell
pretty
may have been
much.
one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z, but Eggman's greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories: strength, speed, abilities, and adaptation.
First up,
Of course.
who was the strongest? Well, it's no surprise that any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he can destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous.
Okay,
assuming he could
so
just blow it up,
theoretically,
final boss
he
is
could
like
do it,
Time
but
Eater and
theoretically
Slark
he doesn't
destroy the
actually
wider
do it.
multiverse. And Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength.
And with Sonic characters being known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe.
Wow, is he actually faster than Metal? Is that what he's gonna say?
Times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect Cell can move upwards of 100 times faster than that, and so 100 times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed. You know,
Alright.
the thing Metal was designed for.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I was sure Mel had this one
They
because,
shared many of the
well,
same
Sonic.
powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note, though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his
Nice.
Juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver Psychokinesis, or the Emerald Spatial Distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us
Right,
with one
so the
thing:
last one is Mel then.
their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took Metal by surprise, he can't absorb fully inorganic robots like Android 16.
Cell was only able to absorb androids 17 and 18 because they were primarily organic.
They're actually more like cyborgs and are only called androids in the English translation.
Metal, on the other hand, can copy a target's biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z Warriors too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his own biology, like Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first place, quite literally biodata.
Cell's Saiyan power-ups? Copied.
Yeah.
Cell's regeneration? Copied. Cell's key techniques? Believe it or not, copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce life energy, similar to Ki, so there's a precedent for him being able to replicate Cell's power set. And at this point, there's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level. just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do anything the Z Fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, because Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Strange, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't
Yeah,
have any options to retaliate
strange.
that Metal wouldn't also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
Why's that?
Cell died. Where's he? You get it? CD?
Nah.
Where you
Get it.
Come on back. Next time on Death Battle.
Yeah, so who's next?
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle.
The two next ones, I have no idea who they are. Look at anime characters stuff, but I have no idea who they are, so I can't say anything about those two characters. I don't think this is a matchup we already knew about. Maybe it is, but I don't think it is. I really don't know this. I have no idea what to say about the next one. Yeah, let's just jump to this one. So that was a Death Ball. Metal destroyed Cell. Thank goodness, I love that. You know, my bias aside, yeah, Metal won. Yeah, okay, I thought Metal was gonna be faster than Cell though, but that turned out to not be the case. Apparently Cell is like 100 times faster or something like that, and you would think that because of his extreme speed, you know, in super and whatever, you assume he will be able to outmatch Mel's just with speed alone, but we know that the speed is not always everything if you look back at the Marvel vs. Sonic one. I don't know, Mel Sonic's copy abilities is yeah, I can see it being I can see it. It's insane, I guess you could call it. But yeah, I guess it technically does really cool copy all of the powers, and I assume when it's copied, it copied the regenerating stuff, so if he lost an arm, he could just get it back, but no, he copied the Kamehameha. Very interesting choice, Mel. I guess it wouldn't really matter though. I mean, he can copy the regeneration, he can copy everything he has and use it as his own, so... but as apparently Cell doesn't have a whole lot of luck in that regard towards Mel Sonic because he's a robot. Interesting to know. Yeah, I don't know. Mel has this one. I guess I could kind of see it though. We didn't take it to the whole Kamehameha, all the team up, the team's name I don't remember, abilities and all that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can see it. But apparently that also means that Melisoni's copy ability is more crazy than I am led to believe. Of course, that scaling in terms of his copy ability, it has to come from the IDW comics, because I don't think we ever see Mel do something that powerful with his copy abilities in the games. I mean, I guess the closest we get is invincibility from Espio, Chaos Control from Shadow, Silver's Technesis powers. Okay. If we start taking all those things into account, it starts getting kind of more, you know. But I mean, sure, Carpet Tails is flying stuff, but he didn't really need to do that. His mouse could fly already. So, and then again, even if he could, you could just take that power from Silver. And I assume if you copy Blaze, I don't know if you ever done that, but if you copy Blaze, can't he then use the Soul Emeralds for his own advantage? There's so much things going on with this copy builder from Mel. Yeah. You know, it's like Rush when we do the spin dash or something like that. Blaze has some kind of fire ability. So I guess if Mel's were to copy something, it would probably be something like that. I think that was gonna have some fire ability. I don't remember exactly where. I remember if it was part of the spin dash or not. But I remember playing Blaze in Sonic Rush. I think it Adventure or something. Maybe it was in the original too. I haven't really played much of the original because I played the Adventures much more, only Marty in it. And I remember she getting some kind of fire spin abilities. Whenever she jumped or whatever it was. She was never even playable though in the Rivals games, so I guess there's that. I guess if she technically wanted to, I could copy the camera stuff from Eggman Negative. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Okay, maybe not strictly camera, but be able to copy their intelligence is kind of interesting too. But then again, yeah, he might actually be able to copy. You know what? Mel could probably do that. Copy the ability from the camera the negative version of Eggman had. That's what his name stands for, by the way. Negative. It means negative. It's short for negative. But yeah, it's... yeah, okay, it's kind of crazy. What if you copied Sage, though? I mean, could he do that? Yeah, you're probably cool. What powers will he get if he copied Sage? Well, that's the thing, we don't know. We haven't really seen much powers from Sage, have we? I mean, we've seen a few things from Frontiers, I guess, but for main part, she doesn't really fight. I guess you could take the whole Stop the Titans or something, or maybe the weird glitching effect she has throughout the game. Maybe that's something you can copy, and that also came because of, you know. Anyway, anyway. With that said, Metal won. And I'm glad he won, because it's Metal and it's a Sonic franchise, and I love the Sonic franchise, and, you know, Metal is kind of great character. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this one. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Just be nice in the comments. Yeah, I think that's so I see you guys next time. And I still have no idea who the next time is or what they are about. So yeah, I can't really say anything about the next one. So I'm gonna get this one out as soon as I can. So thank you guys for watching. Me and Shenanigans signing out. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.